We are the Gujarat Technological University. Since its inception over a decade ago, GTU has been empowering young and curating minds to realize their true potential. Over 4 lakh inspired students are enrolled with one of the premier academic universities in India. With more than 450 affiliated colleges in its fold operating across 5 zones of the state, GTU, the International Innovative University, your place to move forward.
Hello everyone, welcome to the lecture of Power System 1 subject that is offered in Electrical Engineering semester 4. Today we are going to discuss unit number 8, that is substations. After completion of this particular unit, we will acquire the outcome or the course outcome is CO4, that is acquire knowledge about substation equipments and its layout. So basically the entire unit will follow this particular outline. We'll start with the introduction, what is substation and all. Then we'll understand the role of substation in power system. After that, we will see the site and location for the substation, that at which site and location we have to place the substation. Further, we will classify different types of the substation so that we can understand the function of each and every type of the substation. Thereafter, we will enter to the equipments that we use in the substation, and we will have different equipments in the substation that we'll understand. After that, we will see the busbar arrangements in the substation, and finally we will see the layout of the substation, and then we'll summarize the entire unit. So let us understand first what is the requirement of substation in a power system. If you see here, starting from A, and it follows in the same order, so we will start from the A. We know that power system is basically a system which deals with the power. So here if you see, the system starts from the generation, then it is transmission, and then it is distribution. So power system, as we all know, is divided into 3 parts: generation, transmission, and distribution. Now if you remember the earlier part of the subject, we know that at generating station we are generating the power. So what is the next task for us? We know that generating stations are located far away from the load center. So here F is residential consumers as well as C is commercial and business consumers. So these consumers are nothing but the load on the system. So we can see from this diagram that starting from the generation, we have to travel much more, or we can say power has to travel this much of distance from generation to the load. That's why we required a station where we can adjust the electrical parameter in our requirements. So there comes the role of substation arises. So if you see, after generation, there will be uh, so if you see here, that at this point the power is generated, which is known as power station. Now we know that the power which we are generating by the generators, these generators are operated at 11 kV, and we know that the distance between generation and load center is very much on the higher side. So what we have to do, we have to increase the voltage. So for that we require a transformer. Furthermore, if you see, this is the transmission part. So again we know that after the transmission ends, we required a power to the consumer side, which is on the lesser voltage size. So again we have to need one type of transformer. And in load also, when we are distributing the power, we know that we have different requirements of the power. That is, commercial or industrial consumers may require power at 11 or 66 or 33 kV, whereas these residential consumers require power at 230 volt, that is single phase supply AC. In industry we require 3 phase also, So we have to distribute power in such a way. Now, in order to complete the entire process of the power system, we require these stations at different points, like here that is power transformer, here that is transmission substation, distribution substation, which means that starting from the generation to the utilization to the load, we require different places where we can change the electrical parameters of the system, and this is nothing but substation. So by definition, if we go, what is a substation? The substation is nothing but an assembly of apparatus used to change some characteristics. Now, which are the characteristics? Here we are talking of characteristics like voltage, where we have to change the voltage level, as we have seen that generator is generating at 11 kV. We want to increase the voltage level, so we have to place a step up transformer. So that is one way we can change the electrical characteristics. Further, we can also change frequency of the system when it is required, as well as we have to change power factor at the distribution side. So these are some characteristics that we have to change in case of the uh, operation of a power system. Now again, if we see the definition, it is assembly of apparatus, means we are connecting different apparatus, different equipments together in order to change some characteristics of electrical supply, and this assembly is nothing but the substation. Hence we can say that if we see again here, generation, transmission, distribution, everywhere we will see some type of a substation. That is why it is called substation. So substation is an integral part of generation, because we required a substation at the generating end. Why? Because we want to step up the voltage. Then transmission, again we required substation in the transmission network of the system, as well as we required in the distribution of the power. Hence it is an integral part of a system, or integral part of our power system. What basically substation does? Substation is a vital part for power system to maintain the reliability of the system. Now, what do we mean by reliability here? Reliability is very important word for electrical engineering. This reliability is nothing but continuity of power. Now, continuity of power means less interruption in the power. Now, when do we have less interruption in power? If our system works smoothly, if everything goes within the plan, then the system will operate smoothly and will have less number of interruption. If we have less number of interruption, we can say that power that we are having is reliable power, right? So substation helps in maintaining the reliability of the power system. This is very important. This is the prime concern why we are having the substation, or you can say with the use, or with the presence of the substation, the reliability of the power system can be improved, or as well as it can be maintained, right? This is the role of substation in power system. Basic we have to understand is basically substation is an assembly of different apparatus that changes electrical characteristics. It is integral part of the entire power system, and it helps in improving the or maintaining the reliability of the power system. Now let us understand that what will be the site and location of the substation. Now if you want to place a substation, at which place we have to put the entire assembly of apparatus that we are going to use. So first and foremost requirement for the site and location of substation is it should be close to the load center. Now what is load center? Load center is nothing but a place where consumers are there. As we have seen in the earlier slide that we are having two type of, if you see here, this C and E, or you can say C and F. This C and F are our consumers. So one is commercial or industrial consumers and other is residential consumers. So if we are saying here that substation should be located nearer to the load center. Now what happens with this? If we place substation nearer to the load center, the transmission cost will reduce, as well as the losses in the transmission will also reduce. That is why any substation should be placed nearer to the load center. Next, what is the requirement of what is the another requirement for the substation? That incoming transmission line and outgoing distribution line should be allowed access. It means that when you are placing the substation, when you are installing a substation, you should have sufficient space to access the entire assembly of the apparatus that you are placing inside the substation. So incoming line, that is coming from, let's say, transmission and going to the distribution, so you can easily access the lines as well as apparatus. Now why is it important? Because let's say at some point we require to maintain a transmission line, or maybe a outage of a transmission line is there due to fault. So how can we maintain that if it is not easily accessible? So the very important parameter for the site and location of the substation is your apparatus as well as the transmission lines which you are placing through the substation should be easily accessed. Next, it should allow reasonable amount of expansion of the substation. Now this is very crucial. Why is it so? Suppose we have a specific amount of land where we want to place a substation. Now we know that load requirement is increased rapidly to the in any country. Load will never be remain constant. So load requirement is on the higher side always. Now if suppose we are having a substation which is delivering power to a specific amount of load, after 5 years there is a huge possibility that load will increase. So what we will do if we are not considering this parameter? So we will running out of the land, we will running out of the entire land that we required for the substation. So whenever we are placing the substation, it is very important for us to consider the future expansions, right? That is very important. Next, that is municipal restrictions and property law would permit the type of building of substation. This is very crucial, because it is not that we want to place a substation near to the load center, so we will place it exactly at the load or exactly at a, let's say, a commercial building. We cannot do that because of many safety concerns. So before placing the substation, it is very important for us to consider all the restrictions and property laws that are there for any municipal corporations. And last but not the least, cost of the land should be low if possible, right? So these are the requirements that we have for the site and location of the substation. Clear? Next, now as we seen that substation is nothing but an assembly of apparatus that changes the electrical characteristics. So substation is classified in these 3 ways. Now as far as your exams are concerned, this is very important question that can be asked in your GTU exam, that is classification of substation. So let us classify the substation. Basically substations are classified in these 3 ways. First is function. So first is function. Now according to the function, how will it classify? This is according to function. First type of that classification is transformer substation. Now from the name it suggests that substation which either increase the voltage or decrease the voltage is known as transformer substation. So the first type of substation is transformer substation, where we are either increasing or decreasing the voltage level. Now if you again remember the earlier slide, we require this type of substation at generating station to increase the 11 kV of generator to a transmission value that is maybe more than 132 kV. Next is industrial substation. Now what is industrial substation? Industrial substation means we are placing a substation nearer to the industries. So these are the substations which supply power to the individual industry, and hence it is known as industrial substations. After that is very important, that is this switching substation. These substations do not change the voltage level, that is incoming and outgoing lines have the same voltage. However, they simply perform the switching operation of the power lines. So that is known as switching substation. Thereafter, according to the function, the next type of substation is power factor correction substation. So we all know that where we have to place this type of substation. We have to place this type of substation at distribution end. Why? Because at load end we need to improve the power factor. So power factor correction type substations are placed at the distribution end. We all know that we use synchronous condenser in order to improve the power factor. So when we are saying that we have power factor correction substation, we are using either synchronous condenser, or in many industries they are placing capacitor banks to improve the power factor correction. So in power factor correction substation. The next is frequency changer substations. These substations are nothing but it changes the supply frequency from one value to the other value, and this is generally required for the industrial utilization. These type of substations are required for the industry utilizations. Then last but not the least, that is converter substations. These substations are nothing but a substation which changes AC power into DC power, and this substation receive AC power, it convert that into DC power with suitable apparatus, right? So here we are converting the AC into DC or vice versa. The best example for that is we are using at traction. We know that electric train we are using the power. So this is the converter type. This is the converter type substation, right? Thereafter, according to the control, now we know basically substation do have a switch yard and a control room. So in switch yard we have placed entire assembly of the apparatus, and at control room we are controlling and monitoring the operation of the operation of these apparatus. Now so for that, in case of this control classification, we have three type of classification. First is manual type substation, where we are monitoring as well as controlling the apparatus which we have placed in substation manually, right? That is why it is known as manual substation. Then the next is automatic. Automatic means we have placed a certain mechanism with the apparatus such that this apparatus works automatically. That is why it is known as automatical or automatic substation. And last but not the least, which we are using nowadays, is known as supervisory substation. In supervisory substations, we have placed a SCADA system. SCADA system, here we have placed the SCADA system. Now what do we mean by SCADA system? SCADA system is nothing but supervisory control and data acquisition system. So these system are controlling as well as monitoring the entire operation of the power system, or you can say substation, by automatic softwares that we are using, right? That is why it is known as supervisory control type substation. So in earlier days we were using manual substations where we are operating the apparatus manually. We have to go to switch yard and then switching on and off the devices. Next is automatic, where we have placed a specific mechanism which operates automatically when the values of the actuating quantity changes. And after that is supervisory, where we are monitoring and controlling everything from a simple computer, right? So this is the second type of classification. Last but not the least, the third type of classification is mounting type classification, right? So what is mounting type classification? Mounting type classification means how you are mounting the assembly that you have in the system. So the first is indoor type substation, where we are mounting entire assembly of the electrical apparatus inside inside the these substations inside a specific type of you can say arrangement. It is known as indoor substation. Outdoor substations are generally, these indoor substations are used for the voltage rating up to 11 kV, right? This is used for up to 11 kV. Then outdoor substations, these are the most widely used or most widely accepted type of substation in the power system, where we are placing the assembly of electrical apparatus in a switch yard, that is a ground area, and then a control room in another building where we are controlling the system. This is known as outdoor substation. These outdoor substations are used for voltage that is greater than 66 kV, right? So if we know the single line diagram, we can understand that outdoor substations are used for the transmission purpose, or where we in the transmission we required outdoor substations. Next is pole mounted substations. Now these pole mounted substations, I think we all have seen that is there at the street, at our street. If you follow the supply that is coming to your home, and then it will be going to H type structure pole, and on that pole a transformer is placed that is known as pole mounted substation. These pole mounted substations are used at the distribution level. Then foundation mounted substation, where we are mounting entire substation on a specific foundation. And last but not the least, underground substation. We'll see where we are using the underground substation, right? So these are the classification of substation that we are having. Again, it is basically classified in these three manner, that is function, control and mounting, right? So next we will see each type of substation that we have in detail. So the first type of substation is a transformer substation. Now again, as the name suggests, the function of this type of substation is to change the voltage level, right? So if you see again here, at this point we required, let us write it over here. At this point we required 11 kV, right? So the generation is done at 11 kV. At this point, let's say we have 220 kV transmission line. So this transformer will change this 11 kV into 220 kV. Further, this is the entire transmission. Now again, let's say at this point we required 66 kV of power. So at this point, what this transformer will do? This transformer will step down this 220 kV into 66 kV. If you observe here, this 11 kV is converted into this 220 kV. So this will be a step up transformer. This 220 kV is converted into 66 kV. So this will be a step down transformer. Further, this 66 kV can be here, let's say converted into 33 kV. As per the requirement, it can be less than that also. And this is doing what? Again, it is stepping down 66 kV into 33 kV. So if you see here, this 33 kV will further, if required, here it will reduce to 400 volt. And then again we know that this three phase, then we are converting it to single phase. So this 400 will become 230 volt at this our home, right? So again, if you see, most of the places in the power system we required to change the voltage level from 11 kV to 220, 220 kV to 66, 66 kV to 33. Further on here it can be let's say 11 kV, or maybe 6.6 kV or so on, as per the requirement of the industry. So basically, if we see here, that most of the places we need to change the voltage level. That's why the majority of substation in power system are transformer substation, where we are changing the voltage level of electrical supply. And hence, as we know, the basic part or main component of the substation will be transformer substation. So that will be the main component. Now these transformer substations are further classified into four parts. One is step up substation. We know that where we are using it, the step up substation we will use at, if you again remember, at generating station, right? Then primary grid, secondary distribution. So these two things will come into transmission network, and finally this is distribution. So if you see, the step up substation is placed at generating station, and we can identify now from the name that this substation will step up the voltage level in order to transmit it on the higher voltage. Then transmission, in the transmission network we have two type of substation. One is primary grid substation and second is secondary substation. And further and last we have distribution substation. right? So this transformer substation is also further divided into four part: step up substation, primary grid substation, secondary substation, and distribution substation. Now let us understand all these four again by the diagram. So you can refer this by using principle of power system by Mehta book. So again, if you see this, you have to observe these four type of substation. So starting from generating station, we are having 11 kV, then step up substation. So the first type of substation is step up substation. What we are doing in this, we are increasing the voltage level from 11 kV to 220 kV. That is first type of our transformer substation. Next, this 220 kV is given to the primary grid substation. Now what happens here, at this point we are again changing the voltage level. So what we are doing, we are converting this 220 kV into 66 kV. So we are stepping down the voltage to 66 kV. This is known as primary grid substation. So if you see it from starting from this, if you go to this direction, this is our entire power system flow. Power will flow from generation, transmission, and here it is distribution. So first we are stepping up the voltage, then we are stepping down the voltage. At this point we are having different requirement of the power. Few consumers like domestic users will use power at 400 volts. So here 400 volts, 0.4 kV. Few high voltage consumers like industry, they will require power at 11 kV. So this secondary substation, what they will do, they will convert that 66 kV from the primary grid substation into further 11 kV, where the high voltage consumer can use directly that power, right? And if you require furthermore reduction in the voltage, that is we required for domestic use, then that secondary substation will that give to the distribution substation, which is convert this 11 kV into 400 volt. Now these distribution substations will be a type of pole mounted transformer that we will see later on, right? So this is how the transformer substations operates. Basically you have to remember that transformer substation is nothing but it is changing the voltage level of the power. Starting at generator it is increasing the voltage, then after transmission it is reducing the voltage, so that we can have the power at required voltage level to the consumer end. Clear? Next type of substation is pole mounted substation. Now this is most widely used substation, and we all we have seen this substation at our home, right? It is generally placed, and most of the time if you see in the Makar Sankranti, you will hear a blast. That blast generally occurs on this type of substation. This type of substation is nothing but a distribution substation which is placed overhead. Now this is very important to understand that it is placed overhead. Now what do we mean by that? It means that we are placing that into a specific type of H type pole. That is one type of the pole. Pole means the a structure on which you are placing your transmission line, that is known as pole. So it is a distribution type substation. Now this is very important to understand that pole mounted substations are used for only distribution substation. So for the distribution of power purpose we are using this pole mounted substation. So first of all you have to understand that pole mounted substation is nothing but a distribution substation, and it is placed overhead on a specific type of pole. So this is a specific type of substation which we are placing on a pole. It is very cheap form of substation for voltage not more than 11 kV. Now why is it so? Because the pole structure that we are using have capacity or have limited capacity to sustain the weight of the transformer which we are placing over it. That's why if you increase the voltage level, you will require more amount of copper in that, so weight will also increase. And main purpose is to step down 11 kV into 400. These are the value of voltage which we required at domestic level, right? That is why it is used at distribution substation. The electric power is distributed to domestic consumer by this substation, right? So this is the pole mount substation. If you see here, this is the single line diagram and this is the arrangement which we are talking of a pole mount substation. Here lightning arresters are placed in order to avoid lightning stroke or over voltage strike on the conductor. These four terminals are the secondary side of the transformers where we have extracted R, Y, B and neutral. And these are the three bushings where 11 kV is there, and these are the four sides where 400 volts will be stepping down. If you see here, this is overhead line, lightning arrestor is placed over here, fuse which is placed over here, the isolator which is placed over. Isolator is a kind of air brake switch. This is a transformer, and a oil circuit breaker is placed over here, which operates when the value of current will increase on a after a prescribed value, right? So if you see here, this is 11 kV overhead line will now convert it into 400 volts. Then you will take this 400 volts is RYBN. So if you take R and N, then you will become, then the voltage will become 230 volts, which we required to the domestic level or to the domestic consumers, right? So this is the pole mounted substation that we have in the distribution side of the power system.